among us. Love has been perfected among us in this, that we may have boldness in the Yom Hadin, in the day of judgment. Because as he is, so are we in the Olam Hazeh, in the world. There is no fear in Ahava. What is Ahava? Love. But perfect Ahava casts out fear. Because fear involves punishment. But he who fears punishment has not been made perfect in Yahweh's Ahava. We love him because he first loved us. If someone says, I love Yahweh and hates his brother,
He is a liar.
He's a liar. For he who does not love his brother whom he has seen is never going to love Yahweh whom he has not seen, despite what comes out of his mouth. And this mitzvah we have from him, that he who loves Yahweh must love his Israelite brother also. Baruch Hashem Yahweh. Verse 17 tells us to have something that everybody wants to have. What is that? Love. That is something all believers need to have. Verse 17. Ahava. Verse 18 tells us how to get rid of something everybody wants to get rid of. I'll say that again. Verse 17 of 1 Yochanan 4 tells us how to get what everybody wants as a believer. Verse 18 tells us what everybody as a believer wants to get rid of. And what is that? Fear. Can I hear a good amen? Amen. Verse 17, Yochanan tells us to have confidence or boldness in the Yom Hadin. Verse 18, Yochanan tells us how to get rid of the fear of our lives. Brothers and sisters, these are positive and negative ways of saying the same thing. Getting rid of fear is the negative way of becoming confident. Having more love is the positive way of becoming more confident. Can I hear a good amen?
Amen.
More love, more confidence. Less fear, more confidence in Yahweh. There are two ways of saying the exact same thing. Can I hear a good amen? Amen. Baruch Hashem Yahweh. The main point of the text is clear. Yochanan wants us to enjoy a confidence in our walk with Yahweh. He does not want us to be paralyzed. Yochanan does not want us to be depressed by any fear. And I can go into a whole message here about fear, and that'll take 10 hours. That's not the point. We all know what fear is, because we're always battling with different fears. All of us battle with different fears. So, Yahweh does not want us paralyzed or depressed by fear. But specifically, what fear are we talking about here? Go back to verse 17. A fear of judgment. That Yahweh will judge us. Now, the fear of Yahweh is the beginning of wisdom. The fear of Yahweh is the reverence of Yahweh. But not a fear where he's going to destroy us. Because trust me, if he wanted to destroy you, you'd be destroyed already.
Exactly.
So we need to have a reverence for Yahweh. The fear of Yahweh is the beginning of wisdom. But what Yahweh wants to do is remove all fear, but that's not realistic, because that's not happening in this tabernacle. You with me? Yahweh wants to remove all fear, but that's not realistic. It's not happening in this tabernacle. So what is the primary work of the Ruach HaKodesh? To remove a fear of the Yom Hadin. We spoke about that last week. The Kisei Halavan, the great white throne judgment, and the judgment of Yahweh. He wants us to remove the fear. Look at verse 17. Ahava has been perfected, that we may have a boldness or a confidence in the Yom Hadin. So, we're not talking about petty fears. We all have petty daily fears that we work with and that we struggle with. Yahweh will work with those fears as we give them to him, one by one. But specifically, Yahweh wants to remove the fear of the Bema seat of Yeshua. And the Bema seat of Yeshua is when Yeshua distributes to all his Talmidim the works, the good works, or the bad works. He rewards good works, and he rewards evil works, the things done in the body as a born-again Nazarene Israelite. So what is Yahweh's primary goal here? To remove what? fear of his judgment. There is therefore now what? No condemnation to those who are in Mashiach Yeshua, who walk not after the flesh, but after the Ruach. There is condemnation. There's plenty of condemnation for believers. But not those who walk in the Spirit and not in the flesh. If you walk in the Ruach, there is no condemnation. We got to quote that verse in its entirety. Can I hear a good amen?
Amen.
So nothing would make Yochanan happier than to produce a generation of believers who are utterly confident and bold that Yahweh will accept them on Judgment Day.
Amen.
We need to take judgment seriously.
Amen.
Because we know that the unbelievers, or those who have abandoned real biblical faith in Yahweh, will receive Yahweh's judgment. And the torment of hell, or Sheol, or in the Greek, Gehenna. The word Gehenna, or Sheol, the pit, the grave, hell, is used 12 times in the Brit Chadashah. I believe once, warning each tribe of Israel. 12 times that word is used in the Brit Chadashah. 11 times from the lips of Yahshua. So if you don't believe in hell, you have a personal problem.
A big problem.
It's not Yahshua's problem, it's your problem. You can call it hell, you can call it fire, you can call it torment, you can call it the pit of separation, you can call it whatever you will. That is where the unrighteous go, that is where the unsaved go, and one day that hell, or that Sheol, Gehenna, will be swallowed up in the lake of fire, and then whatever that temporary holding place called hell, Gehenna, Sheol is, will be consumed by the lake of fire.
Amen.
Either way, you don't want to be there, either way, you don't want to go there.
Amen.
So Yahweh wants us to learn about His love so that we can have a confidence when we all die, knowing that we're not going to face that kind of judgment that the unbelievers will face, but to have a confidence in the distribution center seat of Yeshua. Now, interesting, Yeshua also spoke of the day of judgment. We saw that here in verse 17, the Yom Hadin. In Matityahu 10:14, Yeshua said this. Don't turn there. Just take notes. In Matityahu 10:14, Yahshua said this. If anyone will not receive you or listen to your word, shake off the dust from your feet as you leave that house or town. Truly I say to you, it will be more tolerable on the day of judgment for the land of what? Sodom and Amorah than for that day. Yahweh warns us clearly in Hebrews 9:27. It is appointed unto men once to die, then the mishpat. It is appointed unto men once to die, then the mishpat. In Mark 9, Yochanan Moshe 9:47, Yahshua says, whatever causes you to sin, get rid of.
Amen.
Because if you don't, now listen to this. Let me read this. Turn there. This is important. We're going to talk about love, but first we have to set the table with judgment. Yochanan Moshe 9:47. If your eye causes you to sin, Mark, Yochanan Moshe 9:47. If your eye causes you to sin, get rid of it. Whatever in your life is causing you to sin, whatever behavior in your life is causing you to sin, get rid of it now. And stop making excuses.
Amen.
Don't worry about what the world does. Don't worry about what people do. You are responsible for your walk before Yahweh. Your wife, your friend, your brother is not responsible for your walk before Yahweh. You are responsible for your walk before Yahweh. You are responsible for controlling your temper. You are responsible for controlling your anger. You are responsible for acting in love. You are responsible for being Yeshua's light in the world, regardless of what anybody else around you does.
Amen.
Can I hear a good amen?
Amen.
Amen.
So he says, if your eye causes you to sin, get rid of it.